30 secrets and Easter eggs in Fortnite Remix. Next time you're cruising in a lowrider, slow down and turn the radio on. Not only are you straight up vibing, but the car will join in. Our first stop is at the Dog House, where you can find all kinds of Easter eggs. Snoop Dogg displays his records everywhere, but when you get close enough, you could actually see their artwork. One of them has an album cover of Columbo's eyes staring right at you, while the other one shows The Visitor, technically the first appearance of the Seven in years. Did you know Fortnite Remix has a Kobe Bryant Easter egg? That's right, in Snoop's set, his Music Pass skin is from 1993. This was the year his debut album dropped, and LBC stands for Long Beach, California, where he grew up. The real secret is when you look at his jersey. It has got the same colors as the LA Lakers, and when you equip the padded style, you can see the number 24, famously worn by Kobe Bryant. His lore goes deeper with the 1966 Cadillac. It turns out this is based on the exact same car Snoop drives in Gin and Juice, but this one gets better. Snoop owned one of these in 2000 and took it on tour, even using it in the 2007 MTV Awards. That's before he left it abandoned in a field for decades, so now it is immortalized in Fortnite. So was the most anticipated collab of the season, Juice WRLD. Now he's not going to release until the final week, but he is all over the map right now and no one realizes. On the battle bus, you can spot a 999 on the side, Juice's favorite number. He even had it tattooed and you can see it in the agency's meeting room. Right next to Snoop's chair, you can find one for Juice WRLD, and it's the only chair in the room that is fully indestructible. Everyone is saying this is leading up to his live event that is set to close the chapter. As for the original owner of the agency, Midas has been transformed into Meowdis for Remix, and fans have been complaining that it's totally missing the golden touch. Well, I investigated, and that's not exactly true. Turns out Meowdis secretly has a new version of the power. When you pick up an item, it'll slowly turn into this weird gray color, but as you get a limbs with it, it'll slowly transform gold. This is actually Meowdis' wrap that gets applied, and it stays on the gun once you drop it. It's pretty cool. Now you guys are never gonna believe this. Can't believe I'm actually saying this, but police cars are back in Fortnite after 4 years. Longtime fans will know how much we talk about this, and Epic have gone out of their way to make sure these never appeared in game again, until now. On the brand new Reload Oasis map, you can find a classic cop car from Chapter 1, donut included. And if you've been paying attention to the season's trailer, it is full of teasers, but the one that caught everyone's eye was Eminem's upcoming POI, Mom's Spaghetti. Not only is this a fun reference to his most famous line, but Eminem actually owns a real-life restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti in Detroit, so I guess it's gonna be at the Grotto now? As for original skins this season, you've probably seen Undercover Sky, but if you ignore her outfit and take a look at her pickaxe, it's way more popular. This is the epic Blade of Floof, and instead of merging together the Sky and Guff axes, they literally taped them together. Talk about a DIY mashup. There's one return we love to see. It's the classic story of the Gnomes and teddy bears. Yep, they are finally back with secret challenges on the map. For the gnomes, they're just standing around the island, and when you collect them, you'll get 10,000 XP per gnome, along with some pretty funny dialogue. In fact, the guy in Weeping Wood straight up flips you off. But let's ignore that, because once you get them all, that's an easy 100,000 XP in your account, and for the teddy bears, these guys are usually hanging out with the gnomes whenever you find one. Heading back to Meowdis for a second, once you unlock his emote, it's gonna look super familiar. It's the perfect crossover between the Pandemonium Walk from Chapter 2 and Meowscles' classic pawing dance. One of my favorite Easter eggs is hiding back in Oasis Reload. Near Paradise Palms, you can find a mother tree with her cactus son, and I'm telling the comment section to behave yourself, okay? Wait until you find out about the secret update to supply drops that has been years in the making. Have you been playing Fortnite for a while? Well, you should know that when a supply drop lands in water, it's just gonna kinda sit there till you pick it up. Not anymore. In a hidden update, Fortnite has made it so your precious goods will now float down the river. You gotta chase after it. Shout out to Infinite Reality for discovering this one. Another detail you could easily miss are hidden voice logs around the map, left by Hope and our only storyline secret of the season. Their voicemail messages recorded from earlier this year sent to Valeria, as Hope breaks down each season story by referencing things like Pandora's Box, Keely being taken hostage, defeating the society, all that good stuff. It's a nice way to let us know that Hope's story will continue in Chapter 6 and beyond. But let's move on to what's happening right now, and that relates to the man himself, Snoop Dogg. While you might have been attacked by Snoop on sight, players from Chapter 2 will know you could blend in with these guys thanks to the disguise booth. But this time Epic went one step further. Not only will they ignore you, but he switches from a boss into an NPC you could talk to, something we've never seen before. You'll even drop Boogie Bombs occasionally, which got an update featuring a golden dog head as the pin holder now. If you own the skin, you might not have even noticed a secret third variant for Snoop. In the shop, Epic promotes the 2 clothing styles, the dog head, even the glasses, but it turns out that if you equip the Y2K clothes along with the dog head, it'll change to a completely different one. While you're at his POI, take a closer look at the henchmen on patrol. Not only have they been updated for the new chapter, but there's a lot more detail than you might think. Both Ghost and Shadow guards are now dressed like concert security with metal detectors, backstage passes, even glowing batons. The logos have audio visualizers and headphones on. It's a great detail that fits the season perfectly. So after you've taken them down at the rig, you'll be able to grab TNTina's keycard and access the vault. It has a bunch of loot inside, but pay attention to the golden artifacts in the corner. Hidden away on the shelf is a Fall Guys bean. Maybe you land at more nostalgic POIs like Pleasant. Well, you'll be happy to know it stayed true to the spy season. Jump into any dumpster or porta potty nearby, and you'll get teleported into the underground shadow base. It's not just here either. All of these are still around the map, including the second one that's only accessible by toilets at the gas station near Frenzy. Another classic spot is just off the coast of Dirty Docks. As you're exploring the POI, you might notice something out at the sea. Swim up to it, and you'll be met by the return of Truckosaurus. He's back underwater like in Chapter 2, so who knows? Maybe we'll even see him climb back to land as the month goes on. Now, that's not the only fan favorite character from 2020. Both Heyman and Pipeman can also be found back at the starting point in their stories. Over at Frenzy, he's waving off into the distance, while Pipeman kicks back on the mountains behind Misty. We all know how this story goes, with them traveling the land to eventually meet up, so hopefully Fortnite completes it again before we leave. Did you know one unreleased update can be found on the map early? With the upcoming weeks, not only will we get the Grotto and Shark with their own rappers, but original characters will also be making a comeback. Caddy Corner's already on the map, and if you drop here, you'll find the vault locked, but listen closely and it's full of loot. There's another chest out of reach this season over at the Ghost House. Not the haunted kind, this is literally the base for the spy faction, but they're just not letting anyone in. You'll need a disguise on to access most of this POI, but whatever you do, don't go for the chest in the hallway. Otherwise... So we all know you can rely on the bosses to look after you once you're on their team, but there's actually a hidden detail in this interaction. They'll all ask you to bring it in or high five, but if you ignore them, they've got special lines. Snoop calls out the disrespect, Midas will say it's probably best not to turn gold, but Tina will just straight up find it awkward. One thing I love to see this season is the grand return of Hut Watch. At this point, the chair truck was only just making its way towards the site, and you could even find it parked on the road right now. But clearly Epic wanted us to see it again, so they time jumped, making it under construction at the same time. One thing we won't have to wait long for is to try on Fortnite's first pair of sneakers. You'll actually get the Jordans for free in the past, with TNTina's quest releasing on November 12th, so be sure to complete your weeklies to claim them. It wouldn't be Chapter 2 without the return of mysterious bunkers. We had tons of these across the island for almost 3 years, and they never opened until the finale live event. Now we know they're all for the IO to access the bridge, but this leaves the question, will they open this time around? Moving on, if you've logged into Reload lately, you might be surprised by the weirdest secret items in Fortnite. For some reason, people are finding the Aegis' shockwave hammer.
Running through the tunnel.
Oh my god! Picked up! Yo!
One of the most overlooked changes is a huge fix to Fortnite's locker. Since Chapter 5, the whole community felt like it was a massive downgrade, begging Epic for something different. We've had some little updates, but now they've finally delivered. Loadouts can now save your entire locker in one go, ready to equip at any time. The best part, you can still keep your old presets and the slots have doubled to 200. Thank you. As always, you can use code T5G in the Fortnite Item Shop if you want to help us support our team. It's been Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.